Welcome in. Good afternoon. It's the Ticket Punchers here on 96.1 FM, 1450 AM, Big X Sports Radio. I'm your host, Roman Kelly, joined today by my co-host here on the show, Curtis Phillips, a.k.a. Philly Picks, waiting for our other co-host, J.R. Anderson, to join up here on stream as well as we take you guys down to 6 o'clock per usual every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on the Big X. Philly, a lot we're going to be discussing today. We're going to go over last night's punches, kind of look into what we saw happening in the NBA last night. Some exciting college basketball matchups tonight and this weekend I'm sure we're going to address. And then, of course, it's Friday, so we talk about Louisville on Fridays, chat about what we expect to see out of them this weekend, and maybe look into a little bit of line movement or potential player prop spots for the big game we've got coming up. I don't know if we're allowed to say the Super Bowl. I mean, I guess we're technically not supposed to, but we're also on the Big X. We can say what we want on the Big X. It's the Super Bowl if it wants to be. But, Philly, excited to have you on, excited to have you chatting here with us today. How are you today, sir?
Yeah, appreciate that, Roman. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I hear you great.
Okay,
you sound great.
Good. Yeah, doing good. Fun slate we had yesterday and ready to dive in this weekend's slate. It's kind of weird we're not going to have any football this weekend. Yeah, it's crazy to say, but we'll try to do. Yeah, we'll try to do what we can with the basketball and maybe some hockey picks or something. So.
Yes, that's what we're going to be looking into. There's still lots to be betting on. It's that time of the year, you know. There's no baseball, no football, at least for a little bit. We do know we have the Louisville Kings and the UFL in action starting up here in March, and we will be betting on that a lot as that is a show here on the Big X we'll be getting in. We're going to have to get you on there as a special guest as well, Philly, whenever we can do that going forward. But tonight there is a lot to discuss. Philly, let's go over last night's punches first before we do anything. Well, we've got some listeners listening. How did the last night's punches do for you? I didn't get to listen to the punches part of the show, you know, where you guys were giving bets out and stuff. I did join with the watch along later on because Con Knipple, Cooper Flag went crazy. So we had to discuss that live time, which I'm sure we're going to get into today. But how did the punches look for you last night with your official punches?
Yeah, we go 2-2. We missed on Sabonis, 6+ assists. That was a plus 130 play. Lightning -1.5 on the puck line. We hit that for some nice plus money at plus 140. MPJ over 25.5 points. That was a must take going back to Denver. I believe he had 38. So he balled out his first game back in Denver.
And you knew he was going to.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you knew that. So and then Oilers 3-way money line -120. It's funny. They was down 3-0. Came back and actually won in OT, but we didn't get the 3-way, but they did end up winning. If maybe somebody tailed and put that on a parlay piece, good for them. But yeah, go 2-2 nonetheless.
Not a bad night. Not going to complain at a 2-2 night. When you've got a plus money prop in there, that's a profiting night right there. That's what we want. Right. That's what makes up for the fun plays that we give out here on the Ticket Punchers. I had an interesting night. What looked like it was going to be a potential 3-0 night at one point in the night does end up falling into a 1-2 night for me. We miss on the Moussa Diabate double-double. He did get to 10 points, got there late, but Zion James coming in, grabbing all those rebounds for the Hornets. The Hornets had everybody rebounding last night. And it's an interesting thing because we know we've talked about it here on the show. The Dallas Mavericks are not a good rebounding team. When they don't have Anthony Davis in action, you don't know who's going to be the leading rebounder for them on any given night. Unfortunately, Daniel Gafford just is not that threat as a rebounder. He's got the soft touch around the rim. He can play as that roll threat, as that that dunker spot down low. Defensively on the glass, though, he doesn't throw that weight around like you would want from somebody that's 6'10", 265, right? The leading rebounder for them last night was Caleb Martin. Martin, leading rebounder for them last night. And he only played 27 minutes. They had two players play 30-plus last night. That was Cooper Flagg and P.J. Washington. Cooper finished with 10 rebounds. P.J. Washington finished with 9, but you don't normally get 10 out of Coop. You know, he's in that 6 to 8 range more times than not. And he'll have nights where he's guarding a guard more often, having a lot of those missed shots where he's out on the perimeter and doesn't get the opportunity because of how much they fluctuate where he plays on the court, depending on who's in the lineup, right? No D'Angelo Russell. Cooper Flagg becomes a heavier ball handler. Played a little bit of the point guard role in some of their sets last night. They don't rebound well. I thought Moussa Diabate would take advantage of that, but unfortunately, he wasn't the culprit. It was Zion James. Obviously, Miles Bridges is going to get on the glass. He's going to get his 5 to 8 more times than not. Diabate, though, he had covered this in 2 of his last 3 games where they were like 12 rebounds, 16 rebounds, crazy performances, but just doesn't play enough minutes when there was him as the biggest guy on the floor to get this. Zion James comes in and grabs 8 boards, 6'5" guard who played for Duke, started for them last year, as we know. Kalkbrenner, he's soft. We mentioned that last night on stream talking about it. He's not grabbing any rebounds lately. And we kind of felt like Diabate was a good spot for him, having been such an active player in the starting lineup recently, but doesn't get it, unfortunately for us. We were correct about the under we took with the Heat and the Bulls sitting at 237. I felt like that was too high of a line with the Heat coming off of a back-to-back. We did make use of that. And then the Detroit Pistons and the Suns. We took their over last night at 214. And Philly, you know I don't take overs like that much. And I know the saying, when it's that low, they can't make it low enough, take the under. I didn't feel that way about last night's game. And unfortunately, Suns pulled away there, and Pistons only scored 15 points in the fourth quarter. Suns win 114-96, so about 5 points off on that over 214.5. Go ahead, Philly.
And the watch along, you pointed out it went up to 237. Which
the live
crazy.
line was more than double what it was
Good.
On the pregame line. And they still didn't find a way to get over, which is rare when you see that in the NBA. That's one of those nights where I wish I would have been paying attention to the snipes. I knew that it was going to finish. Well, in my head, I thought, well, this game finishes well over 220 now, right? No. We hit on a lot of those moments last year. If a team has clearly been the better team all night, and they've been at that 10-point to 15-point of a lead all night long, and they're scoring at a semi-high rate, there's always a chance wherever that live line is, it's going to finish significantly under if the team with the lead balloons that lead up to a blowout. Because then backups come in and everybody's just shooting crazy shots. Sometimes you got to be weary because sometimes there's no defense, but it's these guys trying to make a name for themselves, trying to earn minutes how they can. That comes at the end of the rotation sometimes, showing you can get stops against other second units in the last 2 or 3 minutes of a game. That would have been a great snipe spot to take like an under 225 or something like that when that line did balloon up to 237. So we're going to have to get our eyes back peeled for those. The over-under odds just haven't been as good as they were last season and even the season before that. But there's still some moments out there where the books just think about, oh, these last 4 minutes, they've gone crazy. They've hit more threes than projected. Let's balloon this live over to 10 points higher than it was projected, and then you can kind of get them in those ways. But we got to just pay attention to them, Philly. That was my night, though. We go 1 and 2, unfortunately. How did the triple punch look? I wasn't able to wager it last night. I had the LaMelo Ball 17.5. What were the other 2 plays?
Yeah, so your leg hit with LaMelo, my leg hit with Lightning. I had Lightning on the money line as well, so I'll just put that in the parlay piece. And then JR's leg, Andrew Wiggins, he had over 19.5 points and rebounds. Unfortunately, he fell short. I want to say he finished with, it was either 12 or 14, somewhere in that range. So we almost hit on
finished
our
with 10 last night.
10, ooh.
Yeah.
Okay,
rough night for him there. And that was a weird one, as a player like him in a close game like that. You would have thought he would have been more of a culprit of the scoring, but it was Jaime Jaquez off the bench, our guy, our boy. It's almost like he's better off the bench for them. But that's usually like when Tyler Hero plays, and we know that he's going to be on the floor at the end of games. He was out there balling last night. Khalil Ware getting into the double digits as well, alongside Drew Smith, a guard that doesn't get talked about much out of Missouri. I know you're probably a fan of Drew Smith.
Yeah,
but that's one of those players that's kind of like a hidden he gives a vibe of like an Indiana Pacer, like one of those like you don't know about him until you watch him, and you don't even know about him when he comes into the game. And then once he does, it's like all he's doing is making the right play in his little 5 to 10 minutes that he does play. Yeah. I like those kinds of players in the NBA. But yeah, he get the win last night. We hit on that under. Let's look into tonight, Philly. We've got a lot to get into. I actually, before we get into tonight, I kind of want to. We don't talk enough tennis on the show. I want to pay our respects. Novak Djokovic and Jannik Sinner this morning in our time, middle of the night, started it, in the middle of the night, 3:30, finished that early this morning. All-timer, classic, 5 sets. Djokovic gets the victory, and he'll be headed to the Australian Open final to face Carlos Alcaraz, and he's 10-0 in Australian Open finals. Carlos Alcaraz not having the best of success altogether against Djokovic. So we'll have a great final between those two, but they've got Carlos at minus like 320. I want to let listeners know right now, I have taken Carlos Alcaraz after him having that 4-hour-long match with Zverev and Jannik Sinner going as many sets and as long as he did with Novak, who's 38 years old, not used to having a 4.5-hour semifinal and having to go play against this pretty much evenly based level opponent where he isn't the favorite. Because in tennis right now, an interesting thing's happening. It's Carlos Alcaraz, it's Jannik Sinner, and they're at the top, and it's not everybody else. There's a clear tier between them two, and then you've got Novak Djokovic in the tier by himself, and then there's everybody else. So it's like he knows can get there, but every time he sees one of these two guys in these Grand Slam situations, in these big final moments, it's always kind of been the younger guy getting the best of him here in the last couple of times. But I'm excited for this. I have taken Carlos Alcaraz to win the match with a set score of 3-2, meaning it's going to go down to that 5th set. It's going to be anybody's match at the end, but Carlos Alcaraz ultimately getting the victory and giving. It's kind of feels crazy saying it, but I do think Djokovic loses his first Australian Open to Carlos. I took Carlos plus 400 for him to win the match 3-2. He just won the match, his last match 3-2. Jannik and Novak just went 3-2. I think this one's going 3-2, and I'm taking the favorite to win that. So I think it's going to be another all-timer. Just wanted to give a quick shout-out to the tennis front right there, Philly. We haven't given out any tennis plays so far since the Ticket Punchers has started, I believe. Not giving one out, kind of a jab, but I kind of want to let the listeners know that's just one that I've been on, one that I've taken. Let's look into the night of sports, though, because we've got a lot to bet on. Michigan State in action tonight. We've got a couple of interesting stats that I want to look into in the NBA as well. What slate impressed you the most tonight, Philly? What was drawing your eye in terms of kind of how you were looking at the books tonight?
Yeah, definitely the NBA slate. College, usually on Thursdays and Friday, it's not the best of the slate. I'm surprised we have the Michigan State tonight because it's rare we get a top 25 matchup on a Friday. But that should be a very intriguing matchup. I'll drop a official punch in that game later. But I'm not mad at the NBA slate. I believe it's around 10 games a night. A lot of teams on back-to-back, so that should be interesting. And NHL, I just want to say, y'all got to stop the one-game slates. Like,
what's the point?
Exactly.
They want to bring all the eyes on the NHL into that one game? Is that what it is?
That's what I'm saying. And the fact that I think it was the Blue Jackets and whoever they faced. But, I mean, there's no point of one-game slates. They've done that a lot this season, and I'm not a fan of it. Yeah, Blue Jackets and Blackhawks. Like, I don't even think NHL fans will be watching this game. So
that's an ugly one.
That is ugly. But, yeah, the NBA slate, it's not bad tonight. So
it's not. Quick, interesting note from last night. We didn't really give a whole big emphasis to it. Cooper Flagg, 49 points. Con Knipple, 34 points. You saw all the funny comments today and last night about John Shire and what Duke did last season. How did this team not win a national championship when you've got the rookies in the NBA looking like they're two of the best players in the NBA, at least in the way that they looked last night? Quick, interesting stat that I want to bring up, Philly. Only one game in NBA history has seen two players, teammates, or opponents combine for 80-plus points with 10-plus made threes on 65% field goal shooting, 100% free throw shooting, and 2 or fewer turnovers. I get that that's like kind of hand-picking stats a little bit, but when you really think about it,
That's
Two opponents or teammates have never combined for 80 on 10 made threes with 2 or than few turnovers and made all their free throws. Like Steph, KD, Clay, no 2 out of the 3 of them have ever done this. Jordan and Pippen never did this because they couldn't shoot free throws like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want to, the free throws and the turnovers is kind of a funny thing. Like, it kind of makes me think about, like, coming from the Duke, the 2 white boys that play the good brand of basketball. There's kind of the funny jokes about that are being said. But ultimately, what does this mean for the state of rookies in the NBA right now, if it does mean anything? Philly, can we put a lot of meaning into this right now? Is this kind of more just the greatness of Cooper Flagg, a player who reclassified his college classing and is supposed to be a freshman at Duke right now, scoring 49 points in the NBA? Does this kind of make you look at the one and done rule a little bit? Like, hey, teams would have took him in the draft the year before if they could have at 17, and he's doing this in his rookie year at 18 years old, 49 points. Like, there's a lot of different kind of talking points I've seen from this. What were your did you have any overwhelming takeaways from this last night?
So when me and JR went on the live
watch along last night. Yep.
Yeah, it didn't even. So when we went on, this game was already at halftime, and we're checking through the stats and stuff. And when I saw Coop had 30 at half, I believe Khan had 25. I want to say,
or 24, or something like that.
In that range. And then it didn't cross my mind that these guys were former teammates, obviously, and that they was going against each other. I believe I definitely would have tried to hunt out a prop. These were college roommates, so obviously they're gonna want to go at each other, have good games. Obviously, the runner-up and Coop, which is probably gonna get Rookie of the Year, like they're gonna have good games against each other, or at least shoot a lot. And I think you've seen that with the games where Cooper Flagg has went up against the Pelicans as well, going up against Derek Queen and his former high school teammate. Like, these are guys, like some of your best friends. So obviously you're going to want to have great games against them. I don't think it changes the landscape of anything coming up with rookies, but
we knew how big rookies are, how important they get viewed. They're saying I heard a report today that the 76ers are not interested in including Tyrese or VJ Edgecombe in a deal for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
It says not interested, not willing. That's
right.
They're not calling him untouchable, because that if they really weren't, we'd hear that untouchable word. But It's still, I mean, it's kind of a crazy thing to see rookies like this performing like this in the NBA. Granted, it's on teams that aren't going to be doing much this season. But I think the league needs to build these players up, put them on pedestals as much as they can going forward. They're going to do so with Cooper Flagg, but Con Knipple showing that he's right there as well as another rookie this season that can perform like that, I think is great.
Yeah, and I think next year's rookie class is going to be very scary. It's
even better potentially.
Even, I think, way better. It's going to be competitive. Like Rookie of the Year, it's going to be, I feel like, up for grabs for pretty much all year next year with the talent, the freshmen we have this year in college basketball. That's most likely going to be one and done. It's going to be very interesting next year.
Yeah, another interesting thing I've kind of noticed is all of the high projected name rookies are all performing this season. Some performing better than the others. It took Ace Bailey a while to get going, both with just the overall minutes, the shot selection, and him learning that offense compared to like a Dylan Harper who experienced injuries to De'Aaron Fox and a couple of other guys right at the beginning of the season. He kind of got thrown into the fire and had to go learn how to finish at the rim in the NBA pretty much immediately. Then you see VJ Edgecombe. Is he the most athletic player on the roster in Philadelphia right now? You could argue it, I think. He's getting boards over bigs every night. And it's just been a great thing to see. And you're right. I think next year's rookie class, Philly, has, like, I don't even know the best way to phrase this, but the biggest chance for non-lottery picks to be all-stars.
Yeah.
I think there's the highest number of non-lottery picks with the chance to be, high level all-star-esque rising star type of players. And we haven't seen a draft like that in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Let's look at tonight's slate, because we've got a lot to get into for tonight specifically. And then I want to kind of move on and look into the weekend of sports as well. We do a lot of Friday bets on Friday, but we got to start giving those Saturday bets out. I've got a soccer play that I want to give out for the weekend. So, Philly, talk to us tonight about the official punches that you've been looking at. NBA, if you've got them. If not NBA, I'll give a start. But if you have any NBA official punches tonight, let's start in the NBA.
Yeah, I love the slate tonight for props. And the first one I'll drop, we're going back to the well. Jalen Tyson, points and rebounds, sitting at 22.5 like it was just a few days ago. And, I mean, there's not much more analysis I have to give. But when there's no Darius Garland and no Mobley, and it's sitting in between this 19.5 and 22.5 point range, it's a blind take for me each time. Going up against the Suns, who are good defensively, but feel like could be some fatigue. They
Off
played
the back-to-back.
Yep, off the back-to-back. And then right now, Jalen Tyson's the second go-to scorer, right behind Donovan Mitchell. And he's just been consistent, man. I love that in a player that I'm betting on my money, with my hard-earned money. Like, he's consistent. He's going to give out effort every time. So I love Jalen Tyson to get that mark again. I also like Mitchell Robinson, 10-plus rebounds at plus 102. He's over this in 8 of 11 games in the month of January. He's already had 11 versus Portland. We know what this guy's in the game for. It's to get rebounds. So I think he can get the 10-plus mark. And then I also love Kawhi Leonard, who has been on a tear for the past month and a half. His point line sitting at 22.5. I love that over at minus 120. He's averaging 27 in his last 10 games. He's hit this 9 of the 11 games in the month of January. And Nuggets are susceptible to the small forward position. They give up the second most points per game to the small forward position. We saw MPJ. I know he's a small forward, but he was going against his former team as well. But they can be susceptible, and they're also on a back-to-back. I do think I lean Clippers to cover that as well. But yeah, Kawhi to get 23+. I love that line.
I like it. I've got a few as well. I'll go with my first player prop for tonight. I'm on Jock Landale, 8+ rebounds, Philly. And here's why. The line dropped because they've had a couple of interesting things happen in their last couple of games, at least centered around Jock. Blowout situation with Charlotte. He doesn't play very many minutes. Only 26 minutes, does have 3 rebounds. He doesn't play on the 26th versus Houston, okay? Previous to that, in his 5 games previous to these last 2, New Orleans on the January 23rd, 11 rebounds. January 21st against ATL, 11 rebounds. Both of those games in which he's playing 30 minutes or so. 8 rebounds against Orlando. He did have 1 game with 5 against Orlando previous to that. And then he had another streak of games of where he was covering that 9, 10, 8, 9. He's sitting at 8+ every single game, just about. In the last month, only 2 games where he didn't reach that mark. Philly, I'm rocking with the 8+ for tonight with Jock Landale. Also because the Pelicans, another inconsistent rebounding team. It's somebody different every night for them down low, partially because the rotation changes so much. Derek Queen has a lot of moments out on the floor where he's the hub. He's not in a spot to be getting a lot of offensive rebounds at all. And then he's still a rookie, right? He's still going out there and finding his way on the defensive rebounding side. But granted, going up against the Memphis team, we bet the opposite normally in this situation. Memphis, Jock Landale, not the best, crazy good rebounder. He's their only true big out there trying to get those boards, though, right? You don't get that kind of effort down low, at least on the glass, from Jaren Jackson Jr. Jock's the only one to give it to you. I still think that he covers the 8+ tonight because going up against the Derek Queen down low, he had 11 rebounds against them in the last matchup. He's been, like we said, getting near this mark, or he's been getting above this mark every game this month. I like him for the 8+ tonight at minus 184. Not crazy good odds on it, but still under that minus 200 mark, at least when we grabbed it. Now down to minus 156, so it has dropped a little bit. Yevis Messi plan to be playing, so there is going to be kind of some more bigs being thrown in for the Pelicans tonight with him. And then Trey Murphy, obviously a couple of these other guys, Zion Williamson himself, Sadiq Bey, they're not bad rebounders. There's a lot of share rebounding for the Pelicans, which is why you kind of have good success betting against them. But we're on Jock Landale, 8+ rebounds tonight. Second play for tonight, I think you'll like this one, Philly. And this one was an interesting one because I just feel like it's too low. Toronto Raptors over 108.5 on the team total, sitting at minus 108 right now. And they're going up against the Magic in Orlando. Raptors not coming off of a back-to-back. Neither are the Magic. However, the Raptors in their last handful of games, in particular in January, Philly, they're getting over this mark every time out. Not in their last game where there was a blowout situation with the Raptors, and I'm not going to look at the Thunder because that's just the best defensive team that was in Oklahoma City. Before that, though, 110 points, 122 points, 145 points, 117 points, 115 points, 102, 116 points. They have been having a great January offensively. It doesn't matter the kind of opponent unless it's really one of those top heavy-hitting defensive sides. The Knicks just didn't miss a shot in their last game. Karl Anthony Towns going for 30, Mikal Bridges going for 30 as well. It's tough to guard. I think, though, this gets the Magic team that struggled defensively as of late. They've been allowing a lot of points here in the last couple of weeks. I think this is the perfect spot for the Raptors to kind of get the offense right on the road here. The Magic in their last handful of games, what they've been allowing, 124 points to the Heat, 114 points to the Cavs, 119 points to the Cavs, 124 points to the Hornets, 126 points to the Grizzlies, 111 points to the Grizzlies again, 118 points to the Pelicans. These Orlando Magic have not been defending at a very high level, partially due to the injuries. Franz Wagner is a great defender for them. And they've struggled. They've struggled. I like the Raptors team total tonight at 108.5, sitting at an even line at minus 108. And then lastly, we're taking the Cavs money line. Straight up on the win to get the victory tonight. This one was an interesting one just because I've been kind of iffy on the Cavs lately. The Suns, though, like you mentioned, I don't expect them to have their legs underneath them tonight fully with the way that they had to defend and play last night. Surely there's a bit of a regression in that effort level tonight. Also, no Devin Booker. So Cleveland, having had a couple of days rest, even on a road trip across the country, I think they get a victory here tonight. Philly, that's going to wrap us up for the radio side of things. We're still going to give the triple punch piece out here on the X and YouTube side of things, but this is going to wrap us up. Let's go punch those tickets. All right, Philly picks. Got those punches out. Let's get this triple punch piece out as well. Did you have yours ready for the parlay piece? Lost your mic there, Philly. It might be me. Now I can hear you.
Hello? Good? Okay. Yeah, give me 1 second. I think I know an idea. I love that Raptors play too. Well, first, before my triple punch, I have a bet on that Michigan State-Michigan game tonight. I'm going under that 146.5. I get both teams are very good offensively, but both these teams have been going under a lot lately. Michigan, under in 5 of their last 5. Michigan State, under in 7 of their last 8. And their matchups, they've gone under in 4 straight in this matchup. And Michigan State, when they go up against top-tier opponents, or all their games are getting slowed down. Indiana went under. USC game went under. When they went up against Nebraska, went under. The Duke game was very low scoring as well. And Michigan, they just haven't been as good offensively as they was in like December and November, where they was blowing out opponents. So I think this game can kind of get slowed down a bit. We saw Michigan go up against Nebraska the other day. It was 50-48 at halftime. They was both on pace for about 85 to 90 points. Yet that finished 75-72. So I think the game can get slowed down a bit. So that's going to be another official punch for me.
I like it. I have one more as well. I forgot to add. Arsenal playing tomorrow. I like this spot because they're on the road, but they're going up against Leeds United, a Leeds team that just hasn't been all that crazy. I like Arsenal in this spot as the away side at minus 180 to get the win over Leeds. Just for a quick bit of note, Leeds currently sitting at 16th in the table out of 20 teams, a team that's only won 6 times this season out of their 23 matches. They've lost 9. of their matches. Or they lost 9. Arsenal hasn't lost other than the 3 games. I've only lost 3 games. It's played 15 wins. They've scored the second most goals all season long. They've been on their A game. They did lose to Manchester United in their last Premier League game, but they're coming off of a Champions League victory. They had another Champions League victory less than 10 days ago against Inter Milan. They got a good 3-1 victory on the road right there. Haven't lost a road match since, let's pull it up here, Philly. Arsenal has not lost on the road. I had the number, but I had the match pulled up. Oh, December 6th. December 6th, last time they lost away from their home field. They're not losing tomorrow. Give me Arsenal on the money line, the 3-way money line to get the better odds at -180.
Okay. Arsenal. I'll tell you on that in the morning. What time is that game?
That one's at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
I might tune into that.
If you want to throw a little bit of juice on there, I like the Liverpool at Newcastle under 3.5. Not a crazy good odds on it.
Under
3.5 on the total goals in the Arsenal Newcastle game.
Let's rock.
You can catch that at -205 right now, which is not, crazy, but for a little soccer 2-leg, I like that. And if you needed a third one, Chelsea should get the victory over West Ham on their home field at noon tomorrow. So those are 2 jabs, but Arsenal going to be the official punch on the. You know what? I'm going to make Liverpool Newcastle under 3.5 an official as well.
Okay. I got one more jab. Kentucky going to Arkansas, face Cal. They've been struggling in the first half, especially on the road. This is a high total, the game total. The team totals haven't came out yet. They should come out tonight, early morning. And if it's sitting anywhere in that 32 to 35 range for Kentucky in the first half, I'm going straight under. What's that?
You're going straight under?
Yeah, I'm going under. It's only a jab right now just because I don't know the line, but here, I'll bring it up. What they've been doing in the first half on the road, in SEC play. They've been abysmal in first half and progressing in the second half. But let's see. Versus Vandy, 23 first half. On the road against Tennessee, 31. At LSU, 22. At Bama, they did have, I believe, 34 versus Bama, but Bama's a high-paced team, so that don't even tell me much, honestly. So if it's in anywhere in that 32 to 34, 35 range, I'm going to go under for that. Yeah, that's just going to be a jab, something to look out for tomorrow.
I like it. I didn't have anything on the hockey side that I loved that much tomorrow.
Yeah, I haven't looked at hockey for tomorrow yet.
There was a jab I wanted to give out, but I wasn't too confident in it. It's more so just a vibes jab.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's no reason for the Penguins to lose to the Rangers, though, on their home ice. Rangers have been
terrible.
Not too great. They haven't been terrible on the road like you would think, but they've been bad. So, I mean, I don't think there's any injuries in this one, but just the goalkeeping from the Penguins lately been better, much better, and overall defensively they've been better. New York can score, but they haven't been. They can't stop anybody from scoring. So, give me Pitt, give me the Penguins, the Pittsburgh Penguins on the money line as a jab in hockey as well. We'll go ahead and make it an official. Penguins money line, 3:30 tomorrow on ABC.
Wow.
Okay, so these are 131. All right.
Did JR send his triple?
He didn't yet. We can give out a little 2-leg for tonight, Philly. Give me a little something under -190.
Oh, wait. Actually, I'm sorry. I did just Yeah, we're gonna take. I'll take. Trey Murphy, 22 plus points, sitting around minus 175.
Okay. I've got an interesting stat for mine. I want to give my stat out first. Entering tonight's game with the Lakers, the Wizards are 1-39 in their last 40 games when playing the second game of a back-to-back. The fewest wins ever by an NBA team over a span of 40 such games.
Oof.
That means they're losing tonight. It's only a matter of how many points are we going to give the Lakers. I like 6.5, Philly. Give me the Lakers minus 6.5. I think they blow them out. I think they get a big victory. But with the way that we defend lately, I don't know how long until we get that cushion within the game tonight. Give me the Lakers minus 6.5 on the triple punch.
That's a crazy stat. That's actually insane.
Yeah, 1-39 in their last 40 second back-to-back games.
Wow. No, that's actually crazy.
Yeah, fade the Wizards every time they play their second game of a back-to-back. But then again, it's also one of those weird stats. Like, are they going to end the season having won one game on a back-to-back all year long? I don't think it's like one of those you don't really worry about it with the Lakers tonight. But there's probably going to be
this ain't just this year. This is the last couple years.
Yeah, because it's not like you play 40 back-to-backs in a season.
Exactly. So that's like a 2-3 year streak right there.
Insane stat.
Wow. Good find.
So, yeah, we're going to take the Lakers to win tonight, win comfortably.
Okay.
Philly, I mean, we're going to save all the Super Bowl talk for this coming week, so no need to get into that. We'll kind of just let this first weekend of no football at all truly kind of be its own thing.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for that NFL talk. Oh, I got some stuff to say, but do you like anything in college basketball tomorrow? We got some good matchups.
Nothing out of the big teams. There was a couple small matchups that I was kind of feeling.
Yeah.
You're going to get line movements on some of these things tomorrow. I liked Butler money line straight up at home. Georgetown coming to town as a jab. We'll go ahead and make that a jab, just so we can make sure we track it.
Yeah.
Butler money line. That was one that I was kind of feeling. And then I like Xavier minus 3.5 at home.
Marquette, I'm assuming?
Nope, they got DePaul coming to town.
Okay.
We're only giving them 4 points to DePaul? What am I missing, Philly? I'm on that. Books haven't adjusted. Books don't like Xavier that much. I know that.
I like Xavier at home, and I don't like DePaul on the road. So, I mean.
I hate DePaul on the road. I feel like it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I like that. It gets loud in Xavier, man. I've been there. And it's a rocking crowd. Yeah.
Oh, DePaul has a quick turnaround, too. So does Xavier.
That what they got to play Monday?
Tuesday, but Xavier sees UConn and DePaul sees St. John's. So we're probably going to take the St. John's and UConn spread on Tuesday.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, give me Xavier on the minus 3.5. That's a jab there, not a punch, though. Meaning I'm betting it. You can rock with me if you want. But you can't count it against me if it loses.
Right. Yeah, don't be texting them after the game like, hey.
You told me Xavier was going to win. I said they should. I said I think they will.
Yeah.
I don't know they will.
Right.
But Philly, this is going to wrap us up. If you guys have anything else you want us to get into, let us know. You can DM us on X. We answer any of the questions you may have. Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy. And